Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. Today I wanted to share with you another Shop My Stash video. We're going to be shopping my stash for the month of November, and November is my birthday month. My birthday is on the 19th of this month, so I've decided I'm not going to do any randomly selected products for this month because I truly just want to pick some of my absolute favorites from my collection, things I'm feeling really inclined to grab for, and just things that make me feel special. So I am going to just not have that portion of this video, but it's still going to be so much fun to shop my stash with you. So I will share on the screen right now what time I start doing that portion of this video, but I do want to just reflect on my thoughts on some of the products that I worked on for the past month. So yeah, feel free to skip ahead if you're not interested in hearing some mini reviews and reflections. And otherwise, let's hop on into the products that I was working on and integrating into looks through October. This past month, I selected two different eyeshadow palettes, one of which was actually randomly selected for me, which was the e.l.f. Mad for Matte Jewel Pop palette. This is perfect for the fall time. We're currently in autumn here, and these matte jewel tone shades are just absolutely perfect at this time of year. I will say I didn't use this as much as I would have hoped to, but I am wearing this like purple shade here on just the outer portion of my lid and on the outer portion of my lower lash line, and I love it. Every one of these shades I did make sure I used, other than the black and the creamy shade, just since those are duplicates to what I'm currently working on in my Pan That palette. But I made sure to reach for every single shade at least once, and I really love the performance of this palette. The new version of this actually has a nice clear opening in the lid, so I feel like that would just be so much better in terms of allowing me to remember to reach for this palette and kind of feel a little bit more inspired by it, because the clean, sleek black packaging is just very, very basic and kind of gets overlooked in my collection. But what's on the inside is really what matters, and these are really, really nice, especially considering the low price point for e.l.f. And then the other palette I did choose for myself, this is my Melt Gemini palette. It's just my fave. You know, I think it is my number one in my collection, and I used this so many times this past month. These beautiful, warm, neutral browns down here are phenomenal, and they just blend like a dream, and I feel like they suit my coloring so well. I'm wearing like the total opposite spectrum here today. I can just reach into this palette and know that this palette is gonna look good on me and work well, because these colors are just amazing, and I feel like the mattes blend like endlessly. They just keep blending and blending and blending, and they never look patchy in my opinion. And I used these shades quite a lot actually. I was feeling these like beautiful army kind of green olive shades this month, and I was not disappointed. And another eyeshadow product is the Color Chameleon by Charlotte Tilbury. This is the shade Amber Haze. I did just swatch it. It's a beautiful like bronzy shade. Now I must admit, I think I wore it only twice, and unfortunately I can't seem to figure out a way to get this to work without creasing on my eyes, because I have hooded eyes. I do have pretty oily lids as well, and I found that this just broke up right in my crease. Fortunately, this just hasn't wowed me. I do need to put some sort of eyeshadow powder on top of it to like lock it in place and intensify it. So it's a little disappointing, but I am going to continue to reach for it and try to figure out ways to make it work for me. It is absolutely beautiful on the lower lash line, and I think it makes a really nice just defining lower lash line kind of look. I actually didn't try this with my eyeshadow primer as a base, which sounds silly. I've just been using my Too Faced Born This Way concealer as a base for this, so potentially in the future I should actually use this with my Flower Beauty eyeshadow primer instead, and maybe that will help with the longevity. I'm just thinking of that now. Silly me. I should have tried that. I will, and eventually I will report back and let you know how it cooperated. The next product, I do believe this one was randomly selected. This is the Linda Hallberg pencil in the shade Likeable Mood. It's a gorgeous matte bright orange shade. This is so fun to pop in the waterline just to amplify any sort of warm toned look and make it look a little bit more grungy, a little bit more like alternative punky kind of look, because this is not the type of shade that you would traditionally see in the waterline, but it is so fun. I absolutely love this shade, and I love the performance of this. This is very long wearing and very, very impactful. Really, really beautiful. I also pulled in my e.l.f. Wow Brow. This was just something I was reaching for anyways, and really loving the way that it performed in my brows. and I'm just gonna keep reaching for it eventually, but I do think this rotation I'm gonna just pull in a different brow product simply because I want to switch things up, give myself some more variety. This is really good though. It doesn't offer me the most like full hold, like long hold, but it does make my brows look nice and fluffy and defined, and I do really like it for that. I'd also decided to roll this in. This is the Covergirl, the Supersizer Fibres mascara, and I don't know if this is available anymore. I don't seem to be able to see it when I try to link it, but this was a very, very dry formula, and I've had this open since July now, so I am considering it done because there's very, very little product that's coming out on the wand these days. Today I think might be the absolute last time I can wear this, and even though it's a dry formula, I have no issues with flaking whatsoever. And as of late, simply because this is very dry, I've been like sitting it underneath of my leg while I do other components of my makeup look so that I can kind of warm it up so that more can adhere to the wand. And I found that I got a lot of longevity out of the actual product itself. And I really like the way that this looks on my lashes and the way that this performed, but this is going into my empties now, which I'm really happy about. I had a couple lip products I've been focusing on, two of which were randomly selected for me. The first one is the Madame Glam matte lipstick in the shade Conspiracy. It's a beautiful true red matte lipstick. I just feel like it's the perfect like classic red lip look. I wore it once I think in a video, but actually a couple times throughout this past month just for that very like timeless sort of red lip. I think it looks beautiful with an almost bare lid and minimal skin, but then I also did a little bit more of a glam look where I had like a coppery smoky eye and then this on the lips, and I love it. It's such a good, just classic red shade. Unfortunately, Madame Glam does not make lipsticks anymore, which is so unfortunate because their lipsticks are beautiful, but that was something that I was really happy to have randomly drawn for me because I may have not used it otherwise. And then the other lip is this one right here by Colourpop. This is the Velvet Blur lipstick. This is in the shade Lucky Strike, which is a kind of purpley fuchsia mauve kind of shade. And it's not the most high impact lip. It is a little bit more of a soft lip look, and I really enjoyed using this. I used it quite a bit actually over this past month whenever I had like more cool or berry toned eye looks on. I did have this on earlier today and then I opted to just toss this on because I'm feeling very Halloween-y at the moment, and just it's so gray and dark and dismal outside. I just felt like I wanted to have a nice dark lip to go with my dark nails and smoky eye. But I wore this quite a lot because the eyeshadows that I'm currently working on in my pan, those eyeshadows seem to pair very, very well with this lip color, so it worked out fantastically and I had a lot of fun with that. And then this next lip product I did choose on my own. This is the Bite French Press Lip Gloss in the shade Flat White. And there's a swatch of it right there. It's just so beautiful, and I really wish this formula was still available because I have had so much fun reaching for this over this past month and integrating it into so many looks. I even use it when I don't have any makeup on. I really wish that they still had this line, not only because I would love to recommend this to you, but also because the shade Dirty Chai, which was like a slightly brick red kind of shade, is something that I totally wish I had my hands on because this formula is just so comfortable. I love that slight coffee scent to it as well. So it's just a pleasure to use this and to wear this, and I'm really happy I decided to reach for it. I think this might be going into my November Shop My Stash too because this is something I'm absolutely loving on right now. This next product is a sample of the Buxom Wanderlust Primer Infused Blushes. These are the shades Dolly and Mykonos, and these are actually going to be going into my empties. I think this was randomly selected for me, and it was perfect because this was a really good motivator to get it used up. I'm going to be doing my makeup inventory very soon. I've been working on it, but I will be sharing it with you very soon. And it was really good to get this out of my collection because these both count as one individual blush in my makeup inventory. So that's 2 blushes gone from the count. I know it's not really like 2 blushes, but it held me very accountable to make sure I got them used up, and they're both totally dry and going into my empties. And then I also pulled in this e.l.f. little quad. This is the Illuminating palette. This is a beautiful palette that I really had not used, even though I've had it in my life for probably 11 or 12 months at this point. I just was hesitant to reach for it. So I'm really glad that I decided to put it into my last rotation because I've fallen absolutely head over heels in love with this more bronzy shade. I used it today to kind of blend and diffuse all of my cheek products together after I put on my bronzer, blush, and highlight. I just take this on a duo fiber brush and I kind of just dust it over everything, and it like makes everything mesh so perfectly and look so smooth because it has not a shine but a sheen to it, and it just is stunning. This is my absolute favorite product as of late. Like I've fallen head over heels for it. And I've reached into the majority of these as well. This shade I haven't used very much. I'm just not too sure how to really use it right now. It is kind of like a very light peach with a slight cool undertone. But this beautiful shade right here, it's like a very faint yellow sheen. And this has been amazing for blending out my eyeshadows. I'll use it to blend out everything up from like the edges of my eyeshadow all the way up to my brow bone. And same on my lower lash line. I just blend everything with this on a big fluffy brush, and it kind of brightens up my under eye while also actually just diffusing the edges of my eyeshadow. I've used this kind of as a just natural highlighter without any other highlighting products on my cheeks, and I really enjoyed it. I've fallen in love with this little palette, and I've come to really realize how multi-use this can be, and this is great because this was sitting virtually untouched in my collection for so long, and I had tried and tried and tried to make myself integrate this into my routine and hadn't until now, and now I love it. This is a beautiful little palette. And last month I rolled in this NYX Born to Glow foundation. This is in the shade Warm Vanilla, and I only wore it maybe once or twice this past month. I know I like this formula, but I found this past month that I just wasn't preferring anything with more than sheer coverage. It's just not been my preference. And actually, I've gone many days without any sort of base products whatsoever just because I'm out and about. So I'll just do a little bit of something on my eyes and my brows, and then maybe just a touch of highlight, just because if I have my mask on, I don't really need anything covering up my skin. So I haven't really reached for this, but I do really like it and really enjoyed this so far. I'm happy that I have that in my collection actually. And I have gotten so much good use out of this here. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. This is just a mini, and I'm down to about here. So I might be able to finish this off by the time my makeup inventory goes up, but I don't think so. So I know I'll be able to finish this up by the end of the year though, because this is something that I absolutely love. I love the way it feels on my skin. It's so nice and nourishing without being heavy in any way. Like I don't find it to be thick or rich, but I find it to be very effective at making my skin feel very hydrated, because my skin is starting to change to become a lot more dry as we're going into the colder season. And I've just been really loving using that. Some days I'll even just mix in a little bit of my Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow with this and put that all over my face, and that's my base for the day. And it feels so nice, and it gives me a little bit of luminosity. It's been really quite a pleasure to use. And lastly, I have the Catrice Prime and Fine Dewy Glow Fixing Spray. I used quite a bit of this actually, but I would admit, I don't think this is suited to me at this time of year. I think this is a beautiful, glowy kind of finish setting spray, but I think I would prefer it more in the summertime, and that's how I really got quite a bit of use out of it prior to having it in my Shop My Stash recently, because this actually does help with the longevity of my makeup while offering a slight sheen and like dewy kind of look. But I just felt like I want something that's a bit more hydrating, maybe not so much for longevity as it just is for glow. So I am happy that I decided to use this and reach for it, but I think this is something I would definitely, like personally, I would recommend for the summertime, because it does offer longevity and that actual like fixing property that other more finishing sprays don't offer. This is really truly a setting spray. So I'm gonna go and pop all of these products back into my collection, and let's go together to shop my stash. Let's hop on into that portion of the video. So let's hop on into the top drawer of my makeup collection. There's a handful of things I really wanna pull out of here, and there might be some more things to grab for, but the first thing I want to grab is a new mascara. This one is the Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Lashes Volume 2. I'm gonna use this because it's open. However, I do not like this on my lower lashes, so I'm gonna have to grab my CoverGirl Clump Crusher as well. This is the water resistant. I don't have a preference in terms of the formula of this, but I really love the Clump Crusher on my lower lashes, and I think that these make a really great lash combo. It's so extra, but I'm going to pull for both of these because I don't really love the Charlotte Tilbury on its own. I also actually recently picked this up. This is the Annabelle Waterline Matte. I do have 2 other shades of this pencil liner, and I picked up this gorgeous like khaki kind of shade recently because I don't have anything quite like this in my collection, and I've been missing having like a dark green. I used to have a Colourpop one, and I just feel like this like murky, mossy kind of color is perfection. So I'm really excited to integrate that into some looks. And I also want to grab this right here. This one is by NYX, and I feel like I just haven't gotten quite enough use out of it this year. And this is a pencil liner from NYX, and it's a beautiful shade. This is called Golden Bronze, and it's just really, really beautiful in the waterline. I feel like it adds so much light to my eyes, and I just think it's gonna be a really fun color to play with. And I just popped my e.l.f. Wow Brow back into here, but I feel like I wanna use my oldest brow gel. This is the Essence Make Me Brow. I have mine in the shade Soft Brownie Brows. I've been through several of these in the past, so I just want to get some good use on it over this next month. I don't want to leave it neglected. And then I also think for the first time in a long time, I want to reach for this. This is the Joe Fresh Universal Brow Tint, and it only ever came in one shade. I don't believe Joe Fresh is even a line that's available anymore. I bought this eons ago, and I've always used it for faux freckles. I think I used it through my brows maybe once or twice, but I've been really wanting to play with brow markers. I've seen more of them come on the market recently, and this warm kind of taupey shade looks so perfect. It's nice and sheer, and yeah, I've just been wanting to amp up my brow game, so I think I'm going to reach for this and give it a try. I may actually do some faux freckles with it as well. And I'm thinking I want to grab this. This is my newest liquid eyeshadow. I've had it for several months now, but I don't love on it, even though I said I was going to pull for only favorites. I love the colors of this duo. This is the e.l.f. and J. Kissa Suki to My Heart liquid eyeshadow duo, and as you can see, the colors are beautiful, but I just don't tend to reach for this, so I think I want to play around with it, try to integrate it into some looks this month, and see if I can fall in love with it, because it seems so wasteful to just let it sit in my collection going unused. And in order to get some good use out of this, I really think I need to pull for this primer. Like I was saying earlier in the video, I've been only using concealer as primer, so I'm gonna reach for this. This is the Flower Beauty In Your Prime Ultimate Eye Primer, and actually see if this amps up the longevity of liquid shadows and other shadows in my collection as well. I don't think I want to pull for any other concealers, just simply because I really want to focus on my Too Faced Born This Way, and I will pull into my singles whenever I kind of feel inclined to use a certain shade. So I think for now I'm not going to overwhelm myself. I'm not going to pull any of these items, but next month I might focus a little bit more on my singles, who knows. So moving into what I would say is my favorite drawer in my makeup collection by far, this is my lip and eye palette drawer, and without hesitation I'm gonna pull my newest palette to my collection. You know, I've been absolutely lusting over this palette for what feels like an eternity. This palette's been out for a year now, and I've wanted it ever since it came out. This is the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. Look at this gorgeous, gorgeous color scheme. It's perfect for this time of year. It's honestly perfect for just my personal taste. Of course, I want to reach for it in this month. And I do want to pull one other eyeshadow palette. I think I'm going to grab my Juvia's Place The Magic Mini. I really got some good use out of this when I first added it to my collection, and then recently it's been a little underutilized, so I think that this would pair really well with the Metropolis palette. It would also pair really well with the shades that are in my Panos eyeshadows, and it really does make me feel really inspired, so I want to reach into this as well. These stickers are from the e.l.f. and J. Kissa To The Rescue palette, by the way. They actually belong to this palette right here, but this was new to my collection at the same time, and I just thought it was fun and fit the theme of this palette. So that's going to be it for pulling for eyeshadows, I think. I don't want to overwhelm myself. I really want to make some progress on shadows that I'm panning, but I do want to pull some lip products. I kind of have a feeling it might be a lot because I have several in mind right now. The first one definitely being one of my Bite lipsticks. It's this one right here. This one is in the shade Scorpio, and this is the Amuse Bouche Lipstick. This was in the astrology line that they did, I think in 2018, and my star sign is Scorpio, and this shade is just like absolute perfection in my eyes, so I could not resist it when I saw it. And of course, we're in Scorpio season. I need to pull for this and get some use out of it. Look at this gorgeous, vibrant red orange shade. It is so beautiful. Sorry about the horrendous swatch, but is it not just so fun and so perfectly Scorpio? I need to use this a couple times this month for sure. Okay, and I know I want to pull this right here because I reached for this recently, and oh my gosh, this lip product is just so nice and comfortable and so easy to wear. This is the Bare Minerals. I believe this is called the Gen Nude Radiant Lipstick line, and this is in the shade Notorious. I don't know if this is available anymore. I've seen that there's only like limited shades of this on the Sephora site, but this is such a comfortable, creamy lipstick formula that is more like a tinted balm, and it's so beautiful. It's so comfortable, so easy to just throw on and wear, and I think I'm going to be able to reach for this quite a lot this month, so I want to pull it in and just get some love on it for sure. And then there is one other lip product, and I can see it right here, that I want to really pull for, and it's just because of this glorious packaging. This is the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in the shade Angel Alessandra. I cannot remember what this line is. I think it's the Hot Lips 2? I'm not sure, but just check out this packaging. And then this shade is a beautiful, like, it's like a brown tangerine kind of shade, I feel like. It definitely pulls kind of orange on me in an amazing way. I love the way this looks on my lips. It's more unique than some of my other more nude sort of shades, and it is so comfortable and so stunning, and it kind of smells like mini eggs. Yeah, it kind of smells like mini eggs. I just smelled it. It's like, it smells like candied chocolate. So that just adds to the value of it to me for sure. But I definitely want to reach for this and use it a handful of times this month. And I was gonna grab this Bite Beauty Flat White, but when I was putting it back, I realized I think I need this for this month. This is the Kapari Lip Glossy in the shade Birthday Suit. And not only is it just suiting the birthday season that we're in right now, it's both my birthday and Patrick's birthday this month, but this is kind of similar to Flat White actually in terms of its tone, but I haven't really used this quite enough since I purchased it earlier this year. This is lip product overkill, but I'm also going to grab for this. This is the Colourpop Lippy Pencil in the shade Brink. I recently wore this in conjunction with the She Bad that I'm using right now in my Roulette Pan collab. Oh, and this lip shade is just so nice to really deepen that up, and I think it will pair really well with both of these lip products and actually this as well. So I just want to pull for it and get some good use out of it. I kind of tend to forget about lip pencils. It's not really a category of my like makeup routine that I use very frequently, so I want to remember to try to integrate it into my routine more frequently. And let's move on to the last drawer now. And hopping into the last drawer here, I kind of reorganized it. Let's use that term very loosely because this does not look organized, but I've been working on my makeup inventory, so I've been reaching into this and I've kind of rejigged things a little bit, even though it is pure chaos. But in any case, let's just dive on in. It does make me really excited to see this drawer. I love my Complexion products, so I have a few things in mind that I want to reach for. The first one actually might come as a bit of a shock. This is the Bite Beauty, I believe this is the multi-stick, and this is in the shade Cashew. This is just a tiny little mini I got in a like Clean Beauty favorites kind of set from Sephora, and when I was doing my makeup inventory, I realized I have never once put this on my face. I have held on to this and not ever used it. And this shade looks beautiful, so I want to use this as a lip product and also as a cheek product in this coming month. I may try it on my eyes. I don't think these kinds of things jive with my hooded oily lids, but I could give it a shot and just see and do like a monochromatic look. I really need to get some use out of this though, and this shade is absolutely beautiful. I'm shocked that I've forgotten about it for all this time. And then sticking in that cream kind of theme, I want to reach into this. I absolutely love the formula of this Milk Makeup bronzing stick. This is in the shade Baked. You know this is my favorite bronzer in my collection. I just feel like the tone and the texture are just amazing. I love reaching for this, so I'm gonna make use out of it for this month for sure, just because it's a favorite of mine. So here it is, and then when you blend it out, it looks so good. I feel like this just works so well with my skin color all year round, quite honestly, especially in the summer. I really love this, but I can make it work at this time of year for sure as well. Oh, can this fit in there? That's much better, actually. So I think I want to just not pull any blush or bronzer. I just want to use those cream products. So you know what? I might just pull a cream highlighter as well to go with that kind of theme. This one is the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand, and this is in the shade Spotlight. I haven't really used this much since I got it in the Charlotte Tilbury mystery box. So I want to be sure to get some use out of this and really familiarize myself with it. I know so many people rave about this formula. Sorry, this is like in the most shady spot in my entire apartment right now, but many people like rave about this, but I've not really yet tried it out. I felt like it was a bit too icy for me in the summer, so it may really work for my skin tone at this time of year. And I am going to pull in a powder highlight too, seeing as I just finished off actually 2 from my collection. Stay tuned for my empties to see which ones I finished, but this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlighter. I just love the way that this looks as an inner corner highlight and on the face. It's just perfection. This shade and this tone are just amazing. So I do want to reach into this and get some good use out of it this coming month. Oh my gosh, I've pulled so many products, but there's a few more things I want to pull actually. So I actually already have my Complexion Rescue in my makeup collection, so I'm just going to use the one that is in the shade 05. This one is a little bit lighter, but I'm just going to keep reaching for the deeper one while I can still make it work. And I think I'll pull in this foundation. This is the Becca Skin Love, and the reason why I want to pull this, even though it's very fair, I think this might mix really well with the Bare Minerals Tinted Moisturizer to like make it my perfect skin tone. So I think I'm going to pull for this and mix those two together to finish that off right now. And I feel like I need a setting powder, and I don't want to pull this. I think I want to pull this one. This is the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil. This is just a mini of it. It came in a Sephora Point Perk at one point, and I just want to refamiliarize myself with this. I haven't really reached for this in quite some time. I'm not too sure really if I absolutely love it on the under eyes or on the face, but I think I can really familiarize myself with it in this month and figure out my thoughts and feelings about it. And let's wrap it up because I have so many products, so let's just grab one setting spray. I want to grab this one. This is my newest setting spray in my collection. This is the Pixie Glow Mist, and it is just so nice on the skin, and it smells nice. It just feels really good on the skin. So I want to pull for this and get some good use out of it this month and really finalize some thoughts on it too, because on first impression I love it, but I haven't really put it to the test for like a week straight or anything like that. So yeah, I'm going to play around with it this month, and that is going to be everything I throw into my Shop My Stash, I think. Actually, I don't have a primer, and I'm just remembering that I did put back my primerizer, and honestly I think I just want to pull this right back in. It's almost done, and I think that is going to be the wrap up for it. So that is going to be everything I reach for, I think. Should I grab one of these highlighting kind of palettes? No. I feel like I have enough highlighter products. As much as I was loving this past month, I'm going to be reaching for more creams, I think, this month. So you know what? I'm going to pull this in and use this to kind of like set over my cream products. I just love this. I don't know why. This came as a gift with purchase, with an e.l.f. order, and it's not something I ever expected I'd pick up or even really enjoy, but I want to use this again, so I'm going to pull for this too, and that is going to be everything. I have really gotten out of hand. I have so many products in my Shop My Stash this month, so that is going to be everything. Let me know what you think about all the products that I decided to pull into my Shop My Stash for the month of November. Let me know how I should use them, ways that you love using them, but that is absolutely everything for today's video. Thank you for coming along and shopping my stash with me. Thank you so much for watching and for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye everyone!